What's up, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Evening Alpha. I'm your host, Todd, and man, we have a spectacular Evening Alpha for you guys tonight. Thank you guys so much for being with us. What is Evening Alpha? Well, Evening Alpha is, it's basically like a really cool coffee talk with founders and innovators in the Web3 space. We're a little different than everybody else in that we actually have real conversations with people. We actually get to the behind the scenes stuff and just actually have, look, Web3 is wonderful. It's also an incredibly new space, and it's incredibly hard sometimes, right? It's very difficult to do cutting edge shit. So we're out here doing everything, and we're talking to the hottest people that are doing it, people that are really pushing the boundaries. And so I cannot wait for you to meet our guest tonight. But first, hi Dusty, how are you?
Good. How are you, Todd?
I'm doing pretty good. So tell me, sir, what do we have on the? I have heard, a little bird told me that we have something special to offer tonight to everyone who is listening.
Well, we were going to offer something special, but KG already won it, so maybe next time.
Okay, so next time you have to wait until I have finished drinking my tea.
I apologize. Excellent. So we are doing a giveaway tonight for an adult fantasy NFT. If you'd like to be eligible to win, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and just say something in the chat. Say hi, say Todd is beautiful, say I love Ism Toys. Just say something in the chat. And we'll announce the winner tonight in Discord.
Awesome. That is wicked. So yeah, please, everybody jump in, take part. We're going to have a good time tonight. Dusty, thank you so much. Awesome. This is the part where I kick Dusty off. Kapow! All right. And with that said, I am so excited to introduce you guys tonight to two phenomenal founders. So first we have James from Bugatti Luggage, and we have Tony from Ism Toys. What's up, guys?
Hello. How are you?
Doing wonderful, man. Welcome.
Yeah.
Good evening. Pleasure to be here with you guys.
Absolutely. So I guess we'll start with James. James, so tell us, what is Bugatti Luggage? What are you guys about?
Absolutely. So let's get into it. I'll give you a quick little rundown on the entire company. The company Bugatti Group has been around since 1940, 82 years in business as a luggage, handbag, bag, apparel, and accessory company. In today's day of age, we have 12 brands in our portfolio, some which we own, some which we've partnered with. And with our products, we're seen across all major retailers.
That's fantastic. Awesome. And Tony, you want to give us a shout out and tell us what is Ism Toys, sir?
Sure. So it's a small little company based out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We have been manufacturing toys for the NFT community for the last, I'd say, year and a half. Some might know us for Golems, which is our NFT project about positive affirmations. And we're probably most famous for the chess set, the Bored Ape chess set. And it's kind of cool because we met both you, Todd, and James at New York NYC. And now we're kind of like, we're in terms of our involvement with Bugatti is we've been acting as almost like an ambassador for Bugatti Group and kind of like helping them, bridge the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 and kind of introducing them to the various communities such as adult fantasy and working with communities from a grassroots level and almost acting as like a little bit of a consultant. So it's been a fun trip, and they're minting in 3 weeks. So, but yeah, that's Ism Toys. We're the guys who make toys, and now we do. Somehow it ended up we're doing consulting too. So
I love it. I love it, and I gotta say, Tony, man. I mean, and this is just from my own experience, but you guys have been doing a phenomenal job. Not just with toy production, but I have seen the Bugatti giveaway and all the Bugatti stuff everywhere. And so, yeah, James, congratulations, man. Welcome to Web3.
Thank you. It's definitely an exciting time to be part of a new era that is going to lead what we believe the next wave of e-com, just like when 20 years ago e-com came out. At first, everybody was saying it wasn't really going to live, excuse me, but we all know what it did today. And very excited to see where this world of NFTs, blockchain, metaverse is going to go. We're strong believers that it's going to lead into a new massive wave.
For sure. So, James, I'm curious, what made that, like, what made you guys want to jump into the NFT space? Because, you know, Bugatti's been around. It's beautiful, high quality work. I mean, bespoke. Am I right? So what made you want to go from something so traditional and so almost classic to something so kind of out into like, and you know, I don't know what you want to call, like, the NFT space?
The answer to that, and it's a very good question, and the short one-word answer, it's innovation. The company strives on it. And, you know, the simple answer to this also is 2 years ago when we started studying this space and looking into it, trying to understand and seeing if there was a blend for our corporation. You know, our resume was that, number one, what you can offer through this, you know, technology is creatively limitless. You can do so much and you can take it so far. Whereas in the traditional world, if you go into a retailer or e-com and you purchase a product, as soon as, you know, you walk out the store, the relationship somewhat dies, except for, you know, branding opportunities. Whereas in this case, as soon as you walk out the metaverse shop, let's call it, and you have your physical product, because we are mixing and blending both worlds, we're going phygital, so physical and digital. Well, you have a relationship and a continuity that you can build from. For example, what I'm getting to is our collection. We, you know, took everything that the company is good at from our resources, our products, our brands, and we kind of blended everything together. So once, you know, we do a first drop, but then we have a second drop, and it's going to keep on going. Whereas once again, in a traditional world, you don't have that continued exclusive access.
That's really fascinating. I love how, so you kind of see it as almost like from the membership access or the membership side.
Well, it's more about offering more value to a product, right? Whereas if I go outside right now and I go to whatever store and I'm buying whichever product, in this case, let's say luggage, as soon as I walk out, aside from having the luggage, I don't have anything else, right? Where in this situation, it's different. We added, you know, a roadmap of utility that you get on top of your physical product.
Got it. So you're combining both the physical and the digital, kind of like that phygital kind of vibe.
Exactly.
Awesome. So how did you guys come up? And I guess this is kind of a combo question for both you, James, and Tony. Like, how did you guys come up with the idea of saying, okay, we're going to do this giveaway and we're going to do essentially print on demand luggage? Is this like a new feature that Bugatti has as well? I guess that's two questions. Like, how did you come up with the concept for the giveaway, and then is this sort of an ongoing product line?
So what happened is, in the case study that we did that started 2 years ago, we came to a realization that it's all about, you know, every NFT is quite unique in most cases. So looking at our products at the time, we couldn't print, you know, a custom one of one on a luggage or crossbody or whichever other product. So what we did is we actually invested in new machinery, new technology. We're building a new factory as we speak in Montreal, Canada, and currently operating out of a third party in Brazil. And now we're capable of printing on demand. So you can have your PFP on a luggage or on a crossbody, and we're talking 360 of the product, you know, not just one face, both sides, the back, the front, top, bottom, everything. And to make it even more worthy, all of these products are actually eco-friendly, and every product that Bugatti Group will release in Web3 is going to be 100% recycle made. That's
awesome. And I'll tell you, just as a little bit of customer development, so we have a community of over nearly 8,000 people, much over that if you count like email subs and things like that. And the number one question that we got from the Bugatti giveaway from our side was, can I just buy this thing? So I think, so that's the other question, is like, so it's going to be print on demand. People will be able to go and get their PFP made. And I assume that also means that collections like ours will be able to also offer for sale, like basically put our design on your luggage and then have it for sale, so people can come to purchase. Correct?
That is correct. Currently, there's going to be two ways where you can obtain these customs. Number one, through our mint. On a public end, unless we're partnering with your project and offering it to your community, that's going to be the only two ways. It's if we've partnered with that specific project, or if you are a holder of the mint. That's the way we're going to go about it for now.
That's excellent. And just if you don't mind me asking, like, what's the average retail for the crossbody and for the carry-on?
Currently, the carry-on is 225, so 225 USD, and the crossbody, there's two sizes, one at 155 and one at 145.
Awesome. Yeah, I know people are going to be really excited about this. Like I said, I've gotten that question multiple times from people.
I think it's important to also factor in that these luggages, if you look at the Bugatti Group, they're actually in some of the world's largest retailers.
Yep.
This includes like Walmart, Nordstrom's, Costco, TJ Maxx, and so there's really two components that I find very fascinating about this project. The first really is the project itself, the luggages and the ability moving forward to get everybody's PFP onto a said luggage. So it can be like a crossbody, which is really popular now, right? So you can do it on a crossbody, you can do it on a carry-on, and variety of different elements. But then the second thing is the actual NFT project itself of Bugatti, and that is this incredible mint pass. That there's two components of the mint pass. There's a phygital component, which will have luggages that basically there's these different rarities, and as you get more rarity, the cooler your luggage is going to be. So
cool.
So it's kind of like an uncommon, which is like the second level. You get like one version, and then like you can blend them together to get like upgrade another, kind of like that carnival, right? You go to carnival, you get two mediums, it equals a large, you get two larges. So there's this blending mechanism. But what I find really, in my opinion, and this is why, and we haven't told James this yet. I guess it's being recorded, so we might be in trouble. But we're gonna get a few extra mint passes ourselves, because the Bugatti Group is connected with some of the world's biggest brands, not in terms of retailers, but like entertainment and just like regular brands, such as a K-pop group called Blackpink, the Rolling Stones, Reebok, K-Swiss. And so the plan for this mint pass is, after the mint, there's going to be a couple of special edition drops. And it can be, and I can't confirm or deny because James will kill me, it can be like, let's say a group like Blackpink. And it'll be a limited edition drop that is only available to people who hold this mint pass. And the whole concept is it just brings their audience into this play. So exactly what the mint or the first drop is, it's undefined right now, but the goal is to kind of drop these really cool limited edition things that is available to the community as a mint pass.
Oh, that's very cool.
Very exciting, and that's where, in my opinion, that adds a huge amount of utility to the project itself.
Yeah, I like it. I like that. Sounds really interesting. That's really I love how you're actually treating it as there's a little bit of that gamification of the brand, right? So it's not just a mint pass that gets you X. It's actually staged, and you're treating it like a tier, and you've got your different rarity levels, and then you've got the partnerships on top of that. So that's a really interesting way to set the project up. Um, what what do you guys? What's been your biggest surprise, James? Like, kind of jumping into this thing.
That's a very good question. A biggest surprise. Um,
I'll
I
give you
think
mine first. I'll give you mine first. I'll give you mine, just to give you time to think about it because I don't want to spring any. So I've been in this now for a couple of years, and there were a couple surprises. The first was how open everybody was, right? Like I was very surprised how you always have like one or two people who are just like you know just internet clowns or trolls or whatever. But I would say the vast majority, 99% of the people that I've met through in this space have been completely genuine people. I've had the privilege to meet them some of them in real life too, and just really good people. And that really surprised me, to be quite honest. Maybe it's just because I'm older and I'm jaded. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, but no, it's been really cool. And as a community, a larger group, it's been interesting that even though everybody seems to have their own direction and their own projects and their own companies, their own businesses, um, we're early enough that there's still that togetherness, right? And I can relate to this. I can relate this back to where like New York City startups circa 2008, 2010. I was up there for like 20 years, and it was the same vibe where all the startup wave came across from Silicon Valley, hit New York City, right after, really almost like day after Lehman Brothers crash, and there was a good few years where everybody kind of knew each other and everybody was like really tight. It's really cool to have that vibe again. At least for now. I'm sure in like 10 years it'll be completely different. But anyway, that was my most pleasant surprise, I guess.
you leaned on a very similar answer to what I was going to give. I was
Mm.
going to point out that my biggest surprise is how intact the communities are of these several different projects. Once you get into the communities, the way they welcome you, the way they are together, that's what's really been impressive for me.
Mm. What about you, Tony?
Um, I think the especially during the bear market, I feel that it really starts showing who are the builders and who are the pretenders.
Mm.
I think it's a stark reality where you really now start seeing projects who are surviving and projects who are minting have to be, there has to be a little bit of meat behind their projects. There has to be some actual utility and worth, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Like gone are the days of like anybody can like throw together some PFP art and they're going to mint out for $500,000.
Right.
I think that's one of the things that's really surprised me is how quickly the NFT market has evolved and how quickly it has transformed to from projects putting out empty promises to actual projects where there's actual delivery of said utility. There's actual, when people are doing their own research, they can see, okay, this is an 80-year-old company with established retail connections. This is a legitimate project. So
Yeah.
I think in terms of, to answer your question, in terms of surprises, I think it's how quickly we as Web3 have started kind of like galvanizing and protecting each other and basically saying, okay, what is legitimate and what do we want to see? Because it's just, we've all been burnt so many times before, right?
Yeah.
Even as toy makers, like you'll be shocked. Like we had people ordering a toy and then they're like running away, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I think, my surprise is just how the community has galvanized in terms of really starting to reward builders.
Yeah, that's a great point. When I jumped in, I mean, for our project with adult fantasy, we're comics and animation and all this stuff. And we when we launched, we spent a year creating and patenting new technology for NFTs that allowed us to basically create um, graded NFTs. So it was like a real time de aging, basically real time dynamic NFTs. And it took a lot of legwork and a lot of research and a lot of time. And when we launched, we were really explicit with people, not in a negative way, just really open, transparent way. We were like, look, we love the space. We love, if you're a flipper in the space, we love you. Like, there's no hate at all. But you may not want, as much as I would love another sale, like, you may not actually want to jump into our project because we're clearly a holder project. Like, we launched with an NFT that slowly de-ages over the course of 4 years every single day, and you don't know, like, the rarity is not determined for like another 2.5 years. Right, so you don't do that, you don't launch with that if you're expecting like a quick return, like, at least in like a flipping mentality. And so I think that's a really strong point to say, look, those of us who have been here, those of us who have done it, you know I came from, as you know, Tony, like, I came from animation and comics, and I've been doing this 25 years and worked with Marvel and Stan Lee, and worked with Jeff Koons, who's a most successful artist, and Sandy Warhol. And it was very easy for us to say, yeah, we're in this. It was very easy for us. I think similar to Ism and similar to Bugatti. Like, once you've had a business and you've had it for a long, long time, like especially Bugatti, which has been around for almost coming up on a century. It's and James, do you find it very easy to come in and say, yeah, we're actually in and we're going to be here for the long term because of the history of the company? Does that make sense?
Absolutely, that makes sense. Definitely for us to enter a new space with established resources, it's way easier than if we were starting from scratch and saying, hey, we want to do a project where you're going to receive a luggage, a duffel, a backpack, crossbody, and a paddleboard, but we're not currently in production of those products. Then of course it's harder. Whereas, we're already established. We have all the, we have the ecosystem. So it's definitely easier for us.
Yeah. And Tony, you as well? Do you find that?
Yeah, no, I definitely echo those sentiments. I think one of the things that is very intriguing about how Bugatti also is approaching this project, other than the resources, is most Web2 brands who are coming into retail or coming into the NFT space see us, and when I say us, it's the degens, the guys, we all got our baseball caps, and we're all kind of like building these pretty JPEGs, right? And we're trading them. A lot of Web2 companies see us as targets and come in with, okay, here's our NFT, Merry Christmas, mint it, and I'll see you next year when my line item has to be renewed. What Bugatti has done, which is very different, is yes, there is an NFT, there is utility, there is a mint pass. The mint pass will definitely add value, but they're also opening up their resources and connections to some of the coolest retailers out there. For example, the Bored Apes. We signed 20 Bored Apes, and we are going to be getting them into major retail.
Nice.
So there is going to be an announcement on exactly which retailer it is. But everyone, I do encourage you, check Bugatti's website, follow it, and join the Discord. But you'll see like 4 apes together in 4 different motifs, if you will. And it's starting off with an online version that will be in a major retailer. I can't really name who. I'll get scolded again. But it will definitely be a major retailer that has a couple of thousand stores in North America and globally. So that's step one. And then there's going to be an invitation to about 20 different projects to get those projects into the major retailers online. And then should the project, the luggages do well, which I think they will, because it's a fresh, vibrant art versus your standard, Care Bears that's always on the luggage floors.
Yep.
Should they do well, they go onto the retail floors. So Bugatti has actually opened up those connections that they've built over 20, 25 years, and they're inviting Web3 into Web2. And that's why, for me, I'm very bullish. Like, one day, Ricky and my dream is to get, hopefully Bugatti supports us on this, but get toys into the retailers.
Yeah.
But for now, like, just having a major retailer be able to work with like a Crypto Goons or My Plague NFT and getting them into retail, I haven't seen one retailer this year do something as kind of like symbiotic with Web3.
No, I think that's a very important point. I mean, we've seen independent. As an ape myself, like I've seen a bunch of people from our ecosystem jump into retailers, but it was more self-actualized, right? It's been independent apes jumping into licensing deals. There's a couple of companies that are now trying to do licensing deals for apes, and other NFT projects. And then you've got, I'm trying to think who else. There have been, especially in the Bored Ape community, we've got a bunch of people who, like had their own companies, like had a beer company, had a water company, and actually were able to take their own ape and put it on there. But to actually have a full on, like, soup to nuts retail push, I haven't seen that, and I think that's actually pretty special. You've got me wanting to be in it, so that's a good sign.
No, we'll definitely talk. You know how I feel about your community. It's a strong community, and you know what? You've built something really special, and just the artwork and just like how you execute it's, to me, it's a model that should be repeated.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I really do, Tony. And I think that goes back to both what you and James were saying. It's like, there's something about, and certainly, we all can't, hopefully one day we get to 82 years. But in the meantime, just having like, at least with the people on this call, like each one of us have had businesses that have been around, and they're actual businesses, right? They're not just like shot in the dark, to your point, Tony, like a Web2 company that just sees degens as targets and puts something out and then just like, hey, peace out, thank you, bye guys, or like, oh, it's time to get another cash grab, so we're just gonna airdrop something or dump something, or others that just kind of do these empty promises, maybe not even because it's on purpose, just because they don't have experience. I can't mention any names, but I was talking when Coinbase was pre-launch with their NFT platform. I was talking to them, and the guy that I was talking to, we're just talking about the space, and I'm not going to mention any names, but he was one of the hottest drops at the time, just massive drops. And he was like, oh yeah, those guys are 17 years old. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Completely anonymous. They did the drop. It was fine. But you kind of, at least maybe because I'm an older guy or something, like I was like, oh my God, it never occurred to me that they might be like not even legal. You know what I mean? Like 17. And I think you kind of see, like, there's even in projects that might have a lot of goodwill, there's so many people are coming from so many different backgrounds and so many different places, and there's so much overlap that it kind of becomes hard to tell who's, I don't want to say legitimate, because I don't want to take anything away from other projects that maybe don't have any as much background experience, but there is a difference. There is a difference in being able to understand like what it's going to take to be in this long term, and know that you're going to be in this for like another, like, however many decades. Do you know what I mean? And I think I think that's something really unique and special. I think we're going to see more of it. There's a lot more projects that are coming into the space from very experienced entrepreneurs and businesses and founders who are coming in and actually bringing, I don't want to say Web 2 ideas, but bringing that level of inventiveness from Web 2 into Web 3 and approaching things in a new way. And so I think it's going to be really fascinating to see in the next couple of years, how this all pans out. And I think, again, to your point, Tony, like bear market is a build market, man.
Absolutely, I agree.
So really quick before we continue, I'm going to jump into chat, say hi to everybody, make sure we let everyone know that we're paying attention. Regis, what's up, man? Regis, welcome. Regis is a huge fan of Bugatti, so I'm glad he's here tonight. He's been all over that luggage and that giveaway. Dusty, of course, I gotta say hi to Dusty, even though Dusty's team. You gotta say hi. Willie D, what's up, man? Welcome. KG, welcome. How you doing, sir? KG always wins. That's our meme for KG. Classic. Bad Kitty, what's up? How are you? MK Kronos, welcome. GM, how you doing? Awesome. So here's a question I've got for you guys. So James, and I am genuinely curious about this. This space is not easy. There's a lot of challenges that come with it, and so I'm curious as to what you guys have felt has been your biggest challenge kind of coming into this. Just to start it off, I'll tell you mine. One of the things that's been a huge challenge, the Web3 doesn't have we're all still building the pipeline, right? So in Web2, one of the reasons why Google exploded and Facebook exploded and all of these early mid Web2 companies exploded is because they started building the pipes, right? Sort of the pickaxes to the gold miners, right? And we don't actually have that yet. We're starting to build it, but there's so many challenges. To your point, James, you mentioned like that Web3 has the potential to be the next e-commerce. And I completely agree with you 100%. With that said, there are challenges with Web3 in that we don't have upsells, cross-sells, one-click upsell offers, order bumps, multi-cart, unless you have like custodial wallet. Like there's a lot of things that are challenging specifically to Web3, at least and this is coming from my side of things as someone who's like, handles marketing and is very invested in like making sure that we have traffic and sales and customers and things like that. So that's something that we're like behind the scenes we're working on. We've been inventing. I mean, we created mint pages and a multi-connect wallet for people to use, so they don't have to connect their cold wallet to get validated for drops, and we'll probably be open sourcing that soon. So I'm curious for both you guys, because ISM, for like Tony, you're kind of like all three of us are in kind of overlap, but there's different corners of the market right here. It's really interesting as a kind of a trilogy here. So from what you guys have seen, like what's been the challenges that you find within the space that maybe we need to work on and solve?
I think on a personal note, more so as a company, what's been the most difficult angle is how creative can we get? And every day we're kind of asking that question over and over again. As you learn every day, you connect with more folks every day. So that would be, kind of the answer. And then on a outsider's note, more so, how can we get more folks involved into the space? But of course, that's, we're in infancy stages, and that's all about patience and, good growth with good projects that have the right intentions and so on and so forth, that are going to bring more and more folks into the space. Just like we saw in the previous, uprise of NFTs, you had all these, PFP, simple arts, then you had the artists, then slowly music, then slowly, free NFTs, so on and so forth. So we're growing as an entire space, and it's only going to grow. On a personal level, now that we're connecting and seeing like a new start to a trend in the phygital format, well, that's, hopefully going to bring a lot more folks to the space and help it grow.
Awesome. Tony, what about you?
Sorry, I was just getting off of mute. I guess, you know, the challenge, if I'm understanding the question properly, is like, what is the biggest challenge, right, that we're facing?
Yeah.
Uh, is, you know, with Web3, everything goes so quickly, and there's so many new ideas and innovative, like, and sometimes it's just about, you know, our biggest challenge is, like, for instance, like, we've got the, you know, community chess set coming up that you guys are a part of, but there's all these things we want to do, and sometimes it's about sticking with your gut and fulfilling the roadmap that you intended is a really important, like, that's the biggest challenge,
Yeah.
because, like, you know, like, we're doing like NFC chips, and then we saw what Azuki is doing, and we're like, hey, we got that idea first, but we should do it this, and then it's like, but then we're like, okay, but, you know, how we planned it out makes sense. We're delivering all the toys, then we're going to have all our people scan it, and we're going to give them a metaverse utility. So sometimes just looking back and seeing all of the ideas and learning from it, but then also executing on your deliverables and executing on your fulfilled or your promises is like, and not being distracted, because, like, we can all kind of like have a roadmap, and then we'll be like, oh, look at this, we can switch it up like 360 because this person did it, and you know, if you keep doing that, you're never going to execute.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is so true, man. That is so true. I have I've been doing this for years, but I have a habit of when I see a new mechanism or a new type, like a new approach, I'll just screenshot the whole thing. I've got a massive database of years of this stuff, not just NFTs, but just all across everything. And with the Web3 space, man, it's so much and so fast, and it's really difficult. I think you're right. It's really difficult to look at the space and tell if when something pops and you look at it, and at least for me, my first instinct is like being like, oh my God, these guys are geniuses. This is incredible. I can't believe they figured this out. This is so cool. We should do it. And it's so hard to tell whether it's an actual new thing, quote unquote thing, or if it's just something that's like a phase, right? Like a fad, not a fad necessarily, but just something that, because what happens is, like, there was the PFP craze, and it was just any animal on any like Bored Ape hit, and all of a sudden it was like, you know, happy monkeys, and it was like just a flood of kind of the same stuff. And then staking games hit, and there was a flood of staking game stuff, and then DeFi games, and this and that, and like there's just like all these pops, like bam, 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 and it's so true. Like, I especially, this happened a lot in 2021 for me, and I think I've gotten a lot better in 2022. Where 2021, you know, we were building and we were focused, and thank God we had a roadmap where we were just like didn't have the resources to do all this other stuff. But just seeing some of the cool ideas that were coming out, it was just so difficult to feel like you were on top of things and that you weren't going to fall behind, or you weren't doing the wrong thing when these people you think are doing the right thing. And I think though that you make a good point. It's about really staying focused, not getting distracted, knowing what you need to build, and knowing what your community wants you to focus on, right? Like we try to be. I think, and granted, I take, you know, full transparency. I'm incredibly jaded with our community, of course, and incredibly like opinionated, right? But like, our community is so open, and we try to be so transparent, to the point where they actually are the ones building our universe with us. Like, it's not even false choice questions, that they actually are helping us build lore. We do lore games on Thursday night. We're inventing books. We're inventing comics. We're inventing all kinds of stuff. We're doing, you know, toys with Ism and all kinds of stuff. So it's really is about just staying focused and making sure that you don't get distracted, because that definitely could be a problem. So, so James, like, what is next then? So the giveaway contest, is that still ongoing, or is that now coming to a conclusion? Like, what's the next step for Bugatti, like coming up with this fourth quarter?
So next steps is we have our mid-November 18th, a collection of 7,780 NFTs, 6 different rarities, 5 physical claimables. We're working with apple leather, cactus leather. We have crossbodies, backpacks, duffels, luggages, and a paddleboard. Each NFT is going to act as a mint pass to upcoming partnered releases, which Tony touched on earlier. You're going to have access to the custom PFP factory. You're going to get a discount code on any merchandise that you wish to acquire from Bugatti in the Web2 space. And, for some of the rarities, you're going to be able to have discounted prices on upcoming mints. You're going to have free airdrops and so on. So that's really what's the upcoming next phase. From here, we're also going to have blending weekends where you can fuse your NFTs together. 2 reasons here. 5 out of the 6 rarities have a physical claimable. So if you don't have the physical claimable, but you want to have access to it, well, you can fuse a few NFTs together and get it. And then the second reason, which is very fun, when you fuse, whenever you claim your NFTs, the metadata is going to change to say that it's a claimed product. Well, you can still fuse these claimed NFTs to get a new unclaimed product. So that's a second, fun factor. And then from here, we're going to release the phygital access where you can order your product, your customs, and announce the first partner mint in a very near future.
Man, I love how hard you're going into this. I absolutely love it. I gotta admit, man, I love how hard Bugatti is coming into the space, man. That's so good to see. I love it. It's I mean, old school hip hop, there's no half stepping, right? Like you guys it really seems like you're jumping in with both feet and going after it. I think that's great. And I think it's a huge opportunity. You gotta plant your flag, and you get the chance to own the space. Like nobody else is doing this yet, James. Like nobody.
We're glad to be doing it. Bugatti Group has everything they've touched for the long term. We look at the space on a long-term basis, and we definitely want to grow on a long term. And we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We have a plan for today, but what we're ready to do is definitely add to that plan. And so we're going to do our best to reward our early adopters, and then from here grow with everybody in the space.
Awesome. MK says Bugatti's not messing around. Nice. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it really means a lot. And it's not just about community. It's about dedication, right? Like I think to what both you guys have mentioned tonight, there is a little bit of like trepidation sometimes with people coming in and like, oh, is this going to be a cash grab, or they're just coming in because of whatever reasons. But I think the benefit that Bugatti has is that 1, it's established, 2, it's respected, 3, you're coming in hard and doing a lot. So it's very obvious and clear from anyone that's looking at it that this is a serious play and a long-term. This is something with a long-term goal and a long-term vision. And then honestly, man, I also think, and Tony, you let me know what you think about this, but I also think it says a lot when you're coming in this hard in a bear market, because I think it's easy to do this. Well, easier to do this in a hot market. It's easier to do this when anything you push out is just like magic pills, right? I think it says a lot more when you say, you know what, let's, like, no time like a president, let's go in right now. Do you know what I mean, Tony?
Yeah, no, I completely agree, right? Like right now it is a bear market. You're seeing projects that should have minted out, not mint out. You're seeing some of the biggest art pushes that are struggling. But the fact is, like Bugatti, as one of your listeners said, is going hard at this, right? They're throwing everything, and they're going and rewarding communities with luggages and utility, and then when their portal goes up, projects will be able to kind of like utilize the Bugatti portal to get their NFTs onto luggages. And then that is then just going to spread the brand even more when you have, 4 adult fantasy crew going into New York NFC, and you guys meet up at the whatever at the local bar, and before your flight you can see, oh look, right, like these are all little like utilities. But yeah, to your point, building it during a bear market is tough. Launching and going into a new ecosystem during that time when the ecosystem needs help says a lot about the Bugatti Group and their dedication towards it. We're us, Ricky and I are just a humble small business grinding, and we're very fortunate to be able to work with these guys. But yeah, it's going to be a good mint. I think for your listeners, take advantage of it. Like just for the mint pass alone, all those other utilities are incredible, but the mint pass, in my opinion, is the big play. Do your own research, but yeah, it's definitely it's going to be fun over these next 18 days.
Absolutely, and to that point, my listeners know Ism Toys really well, but for anyone new listening, I mean, you guys are very well respected in the community, like by far. Like you guys have put in a lot of work, and it's always high quality. And in fact, MK Chrono says Ism Toys too had the pleasure of sharing the booth with them at NFT NYC. Was definitely impressed with their attention to detail.
Awesome, yep. Thank you.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. MK was with, I don't know if I can mention it, MK, but I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, he was, I've got to meet MK in person. Just a super good dude. Yeah. Like I said, I was so pleasantly surprised by the community and NFT NYC. It was really a phenomenal experience. We'll definitely have to meet up next year too, by the way.
Sounds good.
For sure. Like, now, James, I also want to touch on this because you mentioned it, I think, earlier about on a personal level, how we can get more people involved. And I think maybe, and I think time will tell, of course, but I think there might be a side sort of a residual benefit to Bugatti coming into the space because it's a recognized brand and it has, you've got that brand aura. And you've got that established, you've got an established clientele. You've got an established brand. It's something that's a known quantity. That in itself can create curiosity from people who know the brand but maybe don't know the brand like this. And so I think as more quote unquote traditional brands kind of come over, I think that's something that is going to lend a tremendous amount of credibility to the space. And for no other reason than, I mean, the number one, I think one of the number one reasons people start to jump into our space is pure curiosity. It has to start there, right?
Starts definitely with curiosity and willingness to understand what is going on. Why are people buying JPEGs? Was probably the first question I asked myself 2 years ago when we started studying the space, because back then you didn't have utility like we're seeing it today. But to backtrack a little bit to your previous comment, big brands coming into the space indeed helps grow the space. But what it really does is, they have the ability to actually bring a lot of eyes to the space. So for example, if you look at the 12 brands that Bugatti Group has, which Tony mentioned a few earlier, if we were potentially to release one of those big brands as a collection that is only accessible to the holders and that the public doesn't have access to, well, what's going to happen is all the fans of these other brands or bands, they're going to say, how do I get my hands on this? And what is Web3 and why is it done through an NFT?
Yeah. Right.
So that's definitely another interesting angle.
No, for sure. That's a really good point. I think it's going to take it's all of these things coming together that are pushing that are going to push people towards our space. And I also think the way the economy is and everything else that's going on in the world, I think that actually over time will benefit the space as well, because we all know that this is the future. I mean, it's what I always tell people. I'm like, it's called Web3 for a reason. Like it's kind of what's next. Like whether you like it or don't like it. I mean, that's cool, but it's not like there's a choice. Like it is what it is, and so I always feel like you have to jump in with both feet and just adapt to it quick, so you can take advantage of everything that it has to offer. We're in such a honeymoon phase right now with everything, even if it's a bear market or a bad market or a lower market or whatever you want to call it. It's still a honeymoon phase for the space. And I think, just with the VCs that I know and talk to, and the entrepreneurs that I know and talk to, and the companies that I know and talk to, I think it feels quiet right now in a little ways, but behind the scenes, man, it is not quiet. Like more things are happening right now by a factor of 10 than were happening in 2021. 2021 had more hype, and 2021 had more surface activity, right? More articles and things like that. But the actual building side is a magnitudes more in 2022 and 2023. Like it is like the time to move is when everything is quiet. Because right now, every major brand is building stuff. Every major brand is patenting stuff. They're all trademarking. They're getting all their ducks in a row, so that when this thing comes back, you're just going to see dominoes, boom, 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 just massive launches. I think the next, there might be some small spikes here or there, but I think the next big bull run, whether it's in like 3 years or not. The Bitcoin cycle, like whenever the next cycle actually hits, it's going to be unreal. And I think it's fantastic that Ism Toys is in it, that Bugatti is in it. Again, by the time, but we get to be a little blessed, right, guys? Like by the time most of the world hears about the space, we'll already be established, in this space, I should say, because does that make sense?
No, I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah. So let me see. If we got any questions in chat, let me know. Other than that, guys, this was a fantastic conversation. It was excellent. Is there any where on earth should we look to find you guys? Where can we go to check you guys out? And you got to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I always forget to unmute. For us, we're always where we are, Ism Toys. Don't check our website because it's terrible. Ricky is revamping it. God knows what he's doing, but he's updating it with all the cool new things. But for us, the focus right now is helping Bugatti mint out, so I can at least sleep after November 18th.
Excellent. Awesome. Really quick, we got a question from Bad Kitty. Bad Kitty says, how do you get allow listed from the Bugatti drop? James?
The answer is very simple. Take a screenshot of your question and the live podcast, and just open a ticket in our Discord, and I'll be sure to let the mods know to give you the allow list. We'll even make it better, and we'll give you the OG role.
Hey, there you go. Awesome. So take a screenshot, and there you go. Excellent. Great way to do that. Good question. Very good question. Before we hop over to James, because I am curious about how we get everyone connected with him, I do want to show off from Ism Toys. This is Ism did this phenomenal sculpt of my Bored Ape number 344. Look at this guy. It's freaking awesome. This is an absolutely gorgeous sculpt. Like that is just gorgeous. Like, and I'm a toy guy.
I remember that guy. That was fun. That was a fun toy.
That was just great. Look how beautiful that is, man. Great work, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I know it was a pain in the ass.
I didn't do anything. Ricky won't let me touch. I've been fired many months ago. I'm not allowed. Like, he won't even let me spray paint shit. Like, I can't even do the primer coat anymore.
Yeah, right. You're done. You're out. I love it. Well, good. You gotta know your strengths and weaknesses. It's like cool business and creativity. You got it. But yeah, everybody got to go check out Ism Toys. High quality stuff, just absolutely gorgeous work. And I love this guy. We're going to be doing a lot more with Ism, of course, because Tony's one of the good guys. Ism is phenomenal. So definitely. And James, where should we push people? How can they get involved with Bugatti? What's the best way to get a hold of you guys and really jump into your group?
You can get a easy hold of us through our Twitter or Discord. If you go on our Twitter at Bugatti GRP for group, you can find our link tree where you can find all of our links from our Discord to our websites. And of course, you know, we're very active on both. So you can find us anywhere in between those two locations.
Awesome. Well, James, Tony, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Everybody at home, thank you guys as well. We appreciate you coming out. We love you as always. Be sure to subscribe, like, and say something in chat if you haven't already. And we will make sure that you get into that giveaway. Oh, we got a question. Cool. Let's do it. I love last minute questions. Good job, MK. MK says, are either of you guys seeing supply chains ease up?
No. I think for us, because we do most of the manufacturing in Canada, the thing that we kind of rely on, the hardest thing that really put a snag into our scenario with delivery of some of our toys was actually the foam. The simplest and most easiest thing that you would assume, which is basically the foam that kind of protects the toys, that took almost 2 months, whereas in everything else was done on time and on schedule. Foam and boxes are also a struggle, but so that's at least our supply chain, and maybe James can kind of add to that.
Oh man, yeah, James, what do you think?
I think it depends which industries you're touching, but you know there's so many factors that are involved. But in all, there is a way to make everything more feasible.
Excellent. Well, guys, and Rageous says Rageous Wheel of Fail upcoming. Rageous, I think we're going to be doing the giveaway in Discord tonight. So we'll check for Discord, and we'll do the Wheel of Fail in Discord tonight after the show. Yeah, well, you know you're gonna win. You're fine. You got this. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Please go check out Ism Toys. Go check out Bugatti Group. Both of these companies are phenomenal and well run and here for the long term and deserve your support and deserve our help in spreading the word as much as we possibly can. So with that, James and Tony, thank you guys so much. And everybody else, thank you. And we will see you tomorrow. We'll see you next time on the show on Evening Alpha. And we love you. And we'll see you guys in Discord. And with that, take care. God bless. Peace out. Love you all.